Welcome to Jake's Happy Nostalgia Show, a podcast where nostalgia comes alive. Together, Jake and his friends interview talents varying from actors, directors, writers, producers, composers, puppeteers, and so much more. Who will they be chatting with today? Find out in this Jake's Happy Nostalgia Show episode.
Greetings, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another episode of Jake's Happy Nostalgia Show, where nostalgia comes alive. My name is Matt Bingel.
Yes.
With my pal Marty Monster. Hello there. And our co-host Chris Bixby, Wyatt McCullough, and that guy, Jake Deffinbaugh. That guy.
So we are great.
Amazing.
Very awesome.
Very good.
By the way, first off, what's the new intro?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, thank you.
Matt and Marty, I have to ask you this. How are you doing?
We're good. We're doing great. We're doing great.
Yeah.
Yes.
Anyway,
Who do we have?
Yeah.
Well, I'm really excited about this one. We've had a lot of my amazing puppeteer friends in the past, and I'm very excited about this one. More coming. Yep, we got more on the way. But we're really excited about this one. He's not only puppeteer, but voice actor as well. We are very, very excited. Most of you have seen his work over on his YouTube page and TikTok and Instagram, wherever. Yeah.
And he's the host of Muppet Fans Talking.
He is. Yes, he's also the host of his own podcast, Muppet Fans Talking. Please welcome my very dear friend, Marcelo Bottaro. Happy to have you here, Marcelo.
There you go. Yay.
I think he might have
Great intro.
poor connection.
Ah, dear.
We're happy to have you here, Marcelo. Yeah, he is.
Well, you could tell he was excited.
Oh my god!
I tell you, I've never seen anybody do that before. There we go.
There you go. Good now.
For us watching the future, we apologize for the technical difficulties.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna have this edit.
Yeah.
It's fine. It's fine.
He left.
I think he's fixing something.
He's probably
there
fixing something.
Now can you hear us?
What just happened?
I don't know.
Connection issues.
Matt,
probably connection issues.
Matt, do the last part.
Yeah.
Do we have to do that again?
Just the last part.
Just the last part.
Okay, cool. He's the host of Muppet Fans Talking, which I've actually appeared on. Yes.
Yeah.
Please welcome my dear friend Marcelo Bottaro. Happy to have you here, Marcelo.
Woo!
Happy to have you here. How are you?
Yeah.
Hey.
Yes.
Happy to have you here.
That's better.
Now we know who you are, but I'm sure there are people who don't know who you are. Would you care to?
A lot of people.
A lot of people. Gee,
thanks Wyatt.
Thanks, Wyatt.
Sorry.
Thanks.
Anyway.
Would you care to tell our viewers a little bit about yourself?
All right, you know what? Let me just go down the maps over here because I got it right here. In London, UK. No. Yes, that's one thing. That is one thing about me. I am a bit of a jokester.
Yeah.
The other thing is, above being a puppeteer, I'm a cartoonist, a actor, guitarist, as you guys can see behind me.
Yeah.
Yes.
Can't play anything today. Hands are and I'm an impressionist. So I do impressions of
anybody.
Well-known characters from TV, movies, some video games, not a lot, but most people would just recognize me more as a cartoonist and a puppeteer, which I've made a pretty good name for myself.
Oh yeah,
really nice.
You did.
Yeah.
Really nice. So kind of going back to the beginning, what got you into puppeteering?
Hold on.
The very, very beginning. Let me just look over here. I was born in
back in my day.
Back in my day. This might top Brandon. Sorry, Brandon.
Well, back in my day when I was trying to figure out who I was.
Back in the simpler times.
Literally, I think you just stopped Brandon.
Sorry, Brandon. I don't know about that.
We're off to a great start.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Well, to be honest with you, fellas, I didn't set out to be a puppeteer in the beginning. I set out to work in animation because I started drawing when I was 3 years old.
Yeah.
Huge thanks to my parents who placed me in front of the TV and they showed a whole lot of Hanna-Barbera cartoons. So there was a lot of Yogi Bear, Wally Gator, Snagglepuss, Huckleberry Hound.
Yeah.
Those that know who I'm talking about, awesome.
Yes.
Those that don't, go watch Jellystone on HBO Max.
Yay, we have Jim Carrey.
Yay.
Yeah,
So-
it's great.
Yeah, so I started drawing when I was 3, just watching, as I said, those shows by Hanna-Barbera, Tex Avery, so there was a lot of Looney Tunes. And I'm a kid of the 90s, so I grew up with Hey Arnold, Cat Dog, Ren and Stimpy, just the classic stuff, that you would find on Nickelodeon, Cartoon Network, and the Disney Afternoon.
Yeah.
At around 5, I said to myself, I want to work with cartoons.
Yeah.
So I pretty much dedicated my whole life wanting to work in the animation industry. Have I had the resources back then? Maybe things would have shape-shifted today, but I spent many of my years just watching a whole bunch of cartoons and figuring out different styles and how everything moves with not only the images of the animation, but also with camera work, background designs, character designs, all of that good stuff.
Yeah.
But along with that, I was also a big fan of the Muppets, as many.
Yeah.
And along with watching Sesame Street and the Muppet Show, I grew up with a whole bunch of other different puppet shows, like The Great Space Coaster, Castle, Between the Lions, Puzzle Plates, Movie, Allegra's Window. And I grew up with Jack's Big Music Show. When I was in middle school. But, I mean, it was puppets. I enjoyed it, and I was mocked for it, but I didn't care. I loved it. And so I always loved that. Yeah. The one thing that really got me interested slightly back in the younger days was I remember me and the family, we would always go to see the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade.
Nice. That's amazing.
That's awesome. So we would go see the parade and we would see all the floats coming down. Yeah. And I look up and I see the Big Bird balloon. And anything that involves Sesame Street or the Muppets back then, still to this day, it always makes me smile. Big Bird balloon walking down. And then I look over and the Sesame Street float comes in and all of the characters are there, like Big Bird, Bert and Ernie, Elmo, Cookie Monster, Grover.
Oh, yeah.
And in my head, I'm just going, how are they here when I would only watch them on television? When you're a kid, because when you're a kid and you watch Sesame Street, you would think that kind of stuff only exists on television. You couldn't imagine seeing that out in the open, right?
Right.
Well, so that kind of fascinated me a little bit. And somewhere around then, that always stuck in my head for many years. And that was until we're jumping years later. And the 2011 Muppet movie.
Which is amazing.
Oh, yes.
Amazing.
Which I saw many a times in the theater. So I kind of got hooked on that. I kind of got the puppet bug at that point. That, and also when I was in middle school, I would research, different things about. There was a class assignment that I did when I was in middle school. And, hold on a second, fellas.
Okay.
Be back.
Okay.
All right, we'll have to edit this part out.
Yay!
Lots of editing for Chris.
Lots of editing. How fun.
I think I was the only one who noticed Marty when that sound. He's like,
I saw that too. Like,
All right.
what was that noise?
Yes. What was that?
That
That's not supposed to happen.
was-
He was like,
it's like it's a knock at the door. It's like Cheeky's parents. Gosh.
Alrighty.
There he is.
All right, so that's done. So that's done, taken care of. Hope we get to cut that part.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
It'll be
Wonder
edited.
if I cut that out.
It'll all be edited.
Chris will be editing it.
Yep.
So I remember back in middle school, there was a class assignment that we did
Yeah.
where we were learning how to use computers for the first time. So, you know, use the internet, research stuff. And to myself, I was still a diehard Muppet fan.
Yeah.
But, you know, I didn't want everybody else to know, because at that time, you know, you could get teased and picked on horrendously.
Yeah.
yeah.
And so,
Sure.
but when I heard of the research assignment, that the teacher said, you know, you can research whoever you want, just as long as they're well known for doing something. And in my heart, I just went, okay, you know what? I want to know who created the Muppets.
Yeah.
And that's how I found out about who Jim Henson was.
Wow.
Wow.
That's awesome.
I looked it up, and I looked up who Jim Henson was, his history, his background, how he got started. And everything that I read and researched about Jim, I was just beyond fascinated. And that's how I got to know a lot of the other original Muppet performers. Some who are still here now, and some who have sadly passed. But they still remain an enormous influence to this day.
Yes.
So that's how I found out not only about Jim, but about Frank Oz, Jerry Nelson, Dave Goelz, Richie Hunt, Steve Whitmire, Martin P. Robinson, who you guys had on the show.
Yes, it was. Oh my gosh,
we did.
Talk about a dream come true.
Yeah, talk about a dream come true. It really was. Oh yeah.
So I learned about who the Muppets were overall.
Yeah.
Because I researched who Jim Henson was and how he got started, and how he just gathered so many people together, and he just wanted to make a better world with the work that he did. And that's why it remains an enormous influence to me to this very day. And when I did the presentation, as many would imagine, I got teased and made fun of for it.
Yeah.
For the past 3 years of my life in middle school, which was painful. It was extremely painful, and I had to make a choice for myself. I had to say, you know, because I got so sick and tired of the teasing that I would have to say goodbye to the Muppets over, you know, forever. And it would really make me sad, because I grew up with these characters. They're not just puppets on TV. There was just something about them that was just inspiring. It made me laugh, and it got me through a lot of hard times. So I almost had to say goodbye, until I saw the trailer for the 2011 movie, and I said, "Yeah, I'm not saying goodbye. We're not leaving. We're sticking together forever."
Yeah.
That's awesome.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So that's basically my start. Like I said, I didn't want to be a puppeteer. I wanted to work in animation, because I grew up with a bunch of animated shows. I love to draw. I love to tell stories. But years after I got out of college, that it kind of changed the plan a little bit. And I was showing everybody, you know, what I could do with puppets. You know, I would draw them, I would design them, I would build them, and then I would perform them. And so it kind of basically took a different turn at that point. I had a bit of a midlife crisis a few years in college, where I was basically stuck in the middle of the road. And I just had to say to myself, okay, what do I want to do? Do I want to work in animation, or do I want to be a puppeteer? Because back then I was trying to divide the two. But my mother, she always told me, you know, don't divide the two, combine the two. Because everything you do, you know, it works as a whole.
Yeah.
So That's basically the whole startup with how I got started. It started with me wanting to work in cartoons.
Yeah.
Then it slowly went into me working as a puppeteer, and I've been doing it ever since.
Wow.
That's
wow.
That right there is
That's
an amazing
amazing.
story. Who were some of your inspirations?
Oh gosh. Well, along with Jim and the other original Henson performers, and some of the current Muppet performers.
Yeah.
Like it's kind of hard for me to choose, who inspired me the most, because every single one of them, they're so amazing with what they do.
Yeah, exactly.
It's hard for me to choose a few, because if I actually choose a few, I'm actually leaving out a whole other bunch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like picking your favorite child.
I wouldn't go. Well, that. Yeah. That definitely falls in the same category. Yeah. It's just, it's hard for me to pick a favorite. Like someone asked me a few years ago, "Who's your favorite voice actor?" And it was it's so tough for me to choose, because they're all so brilliant. Although the one who I love the most, and I've met her many a times, Gray Delisle Griffin.
Yeah. Oh, being a huge Scooby fan, I absolutely love her, and I'm still into Scooby.
Nice.
Yeah. Oh yeah. She's on
Scooby's amazing.
Just ridiculous amounts of different roles. She
like Wubsy, and then
the work she does is amazing.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
She's still going to this day, which is awesome.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yes.
Yeah. So, as far as inspiration goes, Jim, Frank, Dave, Richie, Jerry Nelson, leading up to some of the current performers, Matt Vogel, Bill Beretta, Eric Jacobson, Stephanie DeBruzzo, Mark.
Yes, you have her on too.
She's amazing.
Awesome.
Yeah, they're all very inspiring.
Definitely.
Oh yeah.
Sure.
I can definitely tell.
For sure.
Jake, how about you ask the next question?
Yeah, go JK.
You haven't asked a question yet.
So, how did puppets like James, Reggie, and Marv, and any others came about?
Oh, I've been waiting to tell this story for the longest time, because
wow. Well, there you go.
Yeah. Because for those that don't know, I have a little group called the Figments.
Yeah,
that's right.
Yes,
that's
the
right.
Figments.
Which there's a fun history. There's a fun history to the group, where it started out as a cartoon troupe. They were originally supposed to be cartoons. And inspiration for that group, not only the Muppets, but there was a show that I grew up watching when I was a kid that I loved so much. And while we were talking about Gray Delisle, that show that I'm talking about is called Foster's Home for Imaginary Friends.
Yes, I've heard of that. I've heard
of it.
Great show.
I loved that show growing up.
Yeah.
Because even though it had a few humans in it, the imaginary friends that they have, the designs, the colors, the shapes, the sizes. Honestly, I never saw cartoon characters like that. But seeing something like that, I honestly would see with the Muppets. Yeah. And those imaginaries, they had a certain Muppet look to them.
Yeah.
And I just loved it. I loved it so much. Hands down, one of my favorite animated shows growing up. Foster's was an inspiration for the Figments.
Oh, wow.
So they were originally supposed to be a cartoon troupe, but that was just something I was messing around with when I took a cartooning class in high school.
Oh, wow.
And I didn't really thought of doing anything with them at that time.
Yeah.
Honestly, if I would have done something with them as puppets years ago, something, again, totally different scenario for where I am now.
Yeah.
So I didn't really have any plans with them back then. But around 2019, I still had that name in the back of my head, and my cast of puppet characters was was beginning to grow exponentially.
Yeah.
Right.
And I thought, well, maybe I could just use the name for these 3 characters that I have that I've been using so much. And then the pandemic happened, and I was sitting around with nothing to do, and then TikTok came about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so I just grabbed a few puppets, started lip syncing to audio tracks and all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I just used the hashtags, the Figments for life, puppets, and I have got an enormous following after that. And so the Figments officially became, it just became to be right in the mix of the pandemic.
Yeah.
Wow.
And
That's amazing.
all the characters that I have, one for my group, I didn't want to use any monsters. I didn't want to use any human type characters. I didn't even want them to be animals or aliens or anything.
Yeah.
Because again, I loved Foster so much. All those characters looked amazingly abstract.
Exactly.
That kind of look with my puppets. So that's basically how James, Reggie, Raspberry, Cornelius, Smitty, and Marvin, and Augie. That's how they all seem to be, because all of them, they kind of look like animals. They kind of look like aliens, but they're not. They're all completely 100% abstract, and that's how I like to keep it.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's what it's all about.
Marty, how do you ask a question?
Yeah, I was gonna say this question would be best for Marty to ask, I think.
Yeah.
Wow. Great minds think alike, I would hope. What do you mean?
Great minds think alike.
I would hope. So, a lot of people don't know. Matt's a puppeteer, obviously, as you could tell.
Yeah,
for the last year and a half, a lot of people don't know about this. For the last year and a half, almost, we've been developing a character, Parsley. He's still in the process of being built. We're hoping to have him done by the end of the summer. You build all your puppets. Every single one of them is built by you.
Yep.
What goes into building a puppet?
Definitely patience. Definitely a lot of patience.
Oh yeah.
It's all about definitely learning different skills as you go along.
Yeah.
Because in the beginning, I didn't really build huge puppets with foam. I just used a little bit of foam for the body, but not so much for the head. So a lot of them would just be like the sock puppet.
Yeah, kind of like how James has been around over a decade now. Yeah,
he has. And what? Hold on.
Oh my!
Oh man!
Here we go. See the motto.
He told us.
See the motto of the show, folks. You talk about puppets, you bring them out. Yep.
No, you talk about them, they appear.
Talk about them and they appear.
There
randomly appear.
Randomly appear. There he is.
For
those listening on audio, you're gonna have to switch to the video.
Switch the video.
You may as well just stay at the video for like every single episode at this point. Yeah. You might as well. Anyway, hello, James. Hi, James.
Oh, hi, Marty. Good to see you.
Good to see you.
Yep. So James over here. He was the first. He was the first puppet I ever built.
Yeah.
My mom actually taught me how to sew by hand.
Oh wow.
So I always sew by hand. I'm still learning how to use a sewing machine.
Yeah.
That's what he's trying to do, learn sewing by hand. Yeah.
So James, he's been around for like you said, Marty, almost nearly a decade.
Almost 11 years now, I think. Yeah,
almost 11 years. And he was the first one that I ever built.
Wow.
Yep.
So a lot of my characters in the beginning, they just had this simple sock puppet like head. I mean, James, basically, he does have that Kermit the Frog kind of head.
Yeah.
Which I loved because I've always been fascinated with Kermit's facial expressions.
Yeah.
So with James, I could just, have him go like that.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Yep.
Awesome.
And so with that, it like I said, it's all about patience, all about dedication. Now with other characters I make out of foam, like Cornelius over here.
I know.
One of the newer ones.
Yeah.
Nice.
Nice.
Hello, Marty. Good to see you again.
Hello, Cornelius.
Hello, all of you other people here.
Hello, Cornelius.
Hi, Cornelius.
Hello.
So as you guys can tell, Cornelius, his head and the body, they're all entirely made out of foam.
Yeah.
And the patterns, I didn't buy the patterns. These were all patterns that just came to me.
Wow.
Awesome.
So,
Wow.
yeah, like Cornelius, he actually started off as a drawing. Started off as a little drawing.
Sounds about right.
And then I just kept drawing these kind of characters over and over and over and over. Until one day I decided, you know what, I want to get back to building. And the patterns for all those little abstract characters that I had, all the patterns just came to me. So I just drew them down on paper really quickly before I would lose my train of thought. And I would just save them, draw them digitally, print them out, and see how it works. And if it works, great. And if it doesn't, no harm, no foul. I just do them over again. So
there you go.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I'll probably sound like a broken record when I get more of these kind of questions, but all about imagination, dedication, patience, and it's a skill set.
Yeah,
it's a skill set that you got to learn how to adapt to.
Yeah,
because you can definitely do all of this, but there's a whole bunch of other components that with that.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Chris, how about you ask the next one?
Something we definitely wanted to bring up in this interview was meeting the Sesame Street cast at the ceremony where they named the street to Sesame Street. What was that like? I mean, again, talk about, dream come true, meeting your heroes, basically. What was that like?
I was crying the whole day.
I bet.
I can imagine.
The whole day. And I kept saying to myself, like, not because, I don't want to geek out, not because I don't like geeking out with a lot of these things that I see. But, I did say to myself, like this is something that's really cool, but, just, be cool about it.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
But, when the ceremony started, Sonia Monzaro, who played Maria.
Yeah.
Yes.
She comes out, she kicks things off. And then, she's really happy to be there, seeing all these Muppet Sesame Street fans. And through my peripheral vision, I see Big Bird walking down. He's looking around, waving hi, like, "Oh, everyone, thanks for coming.
Wow.
Great to see you." And so I just see him walking down, making his way to the stage. And at that very moment, I just started crying.
Oh, man.
I started, like nostalgia just hit me on the head like a bag of bricks.
Yeah.
I am just crying my eyes out because A, nostalgia, B, inspiration, and C, it's really like reconnecting with an old childhood friend.
Oh yeah,
for sure.
Yeah.
So Big Bird comes out, and then Eric Jacobson with Grover comes out. And I thought to myself, what is going on here? Because I didn't expect this. I thought it'd be like a fun little ceremony. But no, I see Big Bird come out, and then Eric Jacobson with Grover come out. And then I look over to my left, David Rudman, Tyler Bunch, Pamela Sierra, Ryan Dillon, Carmen Alvar.
Oh my gosh.
With Rudy, Grungetta,
Rudy,
Cookie Monster, Elmo.
Or whoever.
So many.
Where did Rudy? Yeah, we are.
I mean, I honestly feel like I'm gonna cry right now. We just think back to because it was such. It was such an amazing moment. And Oh wait, I left out Peter Linz. Peter Linz was there as well.
Of course.
Yeah.
Ernie.
Yes, and I will say this: when after we did our interviews with Stephanie DeBruzzo and Marty Robinson, Matt got emotional. I kind of did too.
I did. those were both dreams come true of mine.
Yeah.
More so with Marty for me, because, Snuffy is like one of my childhood favorite characters in general, let alone Sesame Street.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, Martin P. Robinson was actually the first Sesame Street performer that I got to meet.
Oh, wow.
Nice.
Really?
That's awesome.
Wow.
Yeah, he was teaching a workshop at the New York Public Library, and so I attended that. And I got to meet a whole bunch of my friends who lived in the New York area who were also puppeteers, which was, again, it was incredible.
Yeah.
And then, as we're walking around checking things out, we see this table full of anything Muppets, and I mean, it was like it was like a buffet table for puppets. That's the best way I could describe it. And I see this big magenta-ish fur, almost like rag, on the table, and that little voice in my head goes, "Oh my gosh, I can tell that's Telly Monster."
That's Telly.
Oh, wow.
It was.
Oh, man.
So yeah, Martin and Telly were the first. They were the first Sesame Street performers and characters that I got to meet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's definitely an amazing guy. So what has been the most rewarding experience of your career?
Most rewarding at this point.
Yeah.
Prior to this recording.
Thank you. We never had that.
Like I gotta mention it like that because last year I got to perform some live shows.
Yeah.
For Up in Arms.
Yeah, that's right. Yes.
So I got to do that. This past year I got to perform what is now my favorite show from Up in Arms, Monster Intelligence.
Oh, nice.
Yes, we've seen that.
Yes, because I am a huge fan of monster puppets.
Yeah.
Yay!
Yay! Beans over there smiling. You can't see him.
I can see him.
Yeah,
I can see him.
Beans over there smiling.
It's mainly because of not only the design of these monsters, but I'm also a huge fan of the fur.
Yeah.
The fur on all of these monsters, like the texture of it, it's just it's amazing. And you could do so much with it.
You really can.
So that's been one of the most rewarding moments.
Wow.
Prior to the pandemic, I've gotten to perform some slams.
Yeah.
Some puppet slams. Wow. Some that were virtual events, which
of course,
I said, what, I could perform a bit.
Yeah.
Submit that to the festival, and we can all watch it. If it had been in person, it would have been a completely different story. But that I loved the most was this slam that I got to perform, where the setting of the slam, the actual location of it, was done in Chicago. And I am a man of the blues, and Chicago is the home of the blue.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So that's been one of the most rewarding moments in my performing career. As far as my new venture goes, I am now working as a teacher. I'm an art teacher.
Wow.
Nice.
That's awesome.
That's amazing.
And for those who don't know, can you briefly describe what a puppet slam is?
Oh, absolutely. So a puppet slam, it's basically like a festival or a cabaret.
Yeah.
Some intended for a much more older audience.
Yeah.
Great.
Great.
We'll be right up our alley.
Great.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah. So
right up my alley.
Yes, yes. If you see a disclaimer that says 18 or above,
right here.
Exactly. Just like if you would go to see Avenue Q the first time, if it says 13 or above, kiddies go home.
Yeah.
For sure.
So that's what a slam is, and I was fortunate enough to do a few right in the mix of the pandemic, like right when it was getting awfully terrible. but I was able to perform some bits in the comfort of my own home.
Yeah.
And so I still have fun memories of doing that.
Oh wow.
And I really hope to do more. Like, if I get to travel, that's great. But honestly, for me, if I get to do it virtually, like record a bit and then send it over, I actually work better that way.
Thanks.
Hey, Matt, I feel like you should ask this question, and then Marty should ask the next one.
Oh, fine.
Because I mean, it makes sense.
Yeah.
For you to ask this one.
Okay. So we had brought up meeting people, and one person that both of us really love working with is our friend Alex.
Yeah,
Alex Arrigo, dear friend of ours. Past guest, and you actually got to meet up with her a few years ago. What was that like?
Well, just like meeting anyone else from the puppet community, especially those that I've been friends with on Facebook, or Instagram. It's always a pleasure. It really is a pleasure.
Yeah.
And Alex, she's a real sweetheart. She's a real sweetheart.
Yep.
An amazing artist as well.
Yes.
I mean, her artwork is outstanding.
Beautiful.
Exactly, especially like the thing she did for Marty's birthday is just amazing.
That's just what we were gonna pull up actually.
That'd be crazy to have the four of you here. Our Brandon involved too.
Didn't you bring up a previous episode, just the three of us? Now we're adding one more.
The three of them. I mean, come on,
everyone, make it everyone.
Matt,
oh God,
Matt, makes sense for you to actually ask this question. That's actually.
Oh no, I was going to pull up the drawing first. For those who don't know, back at the end of May, we celebrate our second anniversary Puppeteer.
Yep.
Yeah, he's only been doing this 2 years. Yep, only 2 years. Doesn't feel like it, does it? No. And we usually celebrate my birthday because that's when I first arrived. We had a little party on Monday before because that Friday was Memorial Day weekend. So we weren't going to be home. We were going to be out of town. So Alex drew this. We're going to flip our camera around. Again, for those listening on audio, just stay with video for the rest of the series. Just stick with just stick with that the rest of the series.
No, you know what? I'll help. You know what? I'll help out. I'll give an audio description. So people will know what.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
For those listening, it's a picture of Marty Monster, the cute, adorable orange monster, with Alex's character Terrence, who is a green pterodactyl.
That's right.
With two birds. Are you listening, people? Two birds from the musical Bird Call from Bird Call Radio. And Bird Call Radio, if you're listening to this, we love you and we hope
we love you.
Matt does not run the fan page.
Yes.
I don't run the fan page. Just want to get that out there.
So we got Luckle, this adorable blue bird. Are you listening, people?
Yes.
You know what? My description means nothing. Just stick to video.
And,
Luckle and
Francis Bertling in the purple and pink. Just switch.
And it says Happy Birthday, Marty Monster.
And it says Happy Birthday, Marty Monster. Nobody,
that's awesome.
Nobody cares.
She's definitely amazing. She's definitely on.
Alex really is.
Same with all these Instagram puppeteers we meet. Like Matt's friends with them. For example, I never met you before until this, and it's awesome, amazing. I know Chris hasn't either, but you met Jake.
Right? Yeah.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
Anyway, hey, Matt, we come back in the camera. It makes sense that you asked this one question.
We just want to showcase a little bit of Bird Call's work. This was a duckbill. Yes, we got to go audio description again. There was a Bird Call the musical. It's in like Music Notes, which is like actually really, really creative.
Yeah.
And then if anyone has ever seen a Broadway musical, what he's holding up is a playbill. Is a playbill parody that says Duckbill.
Duckbill. That's right. Duckbill.
Yes.
You hear that, folks? Duckbill. and it was performed at the B Theater, the Marshall Ellis Theater in Orlando, Florida, about 4 years ago.
Oh wow!
Calvin and Luckle have even told us that was their favorite. Yeah, and it's got Lucko on the bottom there. And this top one is actually signed by the cast. We have one on the inside that's signed as well.
Oh yeah,
we
you
received
mean this?
You too.
I actually got this for Christmas a few years back.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I was about to say you got this like a surprise Christmas gift a couple years ago.
Yeah. All the way from Bird Call down in Florida.
All the way from Bird Call in Orlando. They are just fantastic.
Yeah.
And shut up, Bubba. I know you're going to say something. Yeah. I know you're going to say something, Bubba. But they're amazing. Please go check them out. Bird Call Radio on social media.
They'll be on again in the future, hopefully.
They will be on again.
Sometime in July.
Well, we're kind of taping in July, but to celebrate their 20th anniversary. So stay tuned episode for that in September. Yep. Yeah. Speaking of friends in the community, Matt, take it. Okay, geez.
You human.
Yeah, human. To me, this community's just been outstanding. You know, we brought up like Alex and all these amazing Brandon, Mia,
Brian,
all these amazing puppeteers. But what are your thoughts on this amazing puppet community?
Well, with what I'm about to say, I'm not going to sugarcoat it because, like any other community, whether it's animation, voice acting, puppetry, or cooking, if you want to get right down to it, you're always going to find. Most people would laugh, but what I would say is, you'd always find those little group of people that really think they're above. Yeah. They're really above others, right? I've been doing this for such a long time. They're newcomers.
Newcomers.
Let's just sweep that off my shoulder. Which I get. I accept that. But at the same time, you'd always find those that are just the kindest, sweetest, most helpful group of people that you'll ever meet.
Exactly.
And honestly, when I jumped right into it, I didn't think I would find that because I thought I'd be the only one where I'm at now. Years ago, I thought I was the only one doing this, and then I attend this event. Just with this quick little story, I attended an event for Jerry Nelson a few years ago.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it was at the Museum of the Moving Image in Queens. And I brought one of my puppets with me. And I thought I'd be the only one there with a puppet. Much to my surprise, like at the very end of the event, there was more puppeteers in there than even I could count.
Wow!
Because not only were some of the Henson performers attended this event, Matt Vogel, Bill Beretta, Dave Goles was there, so I got to see Dave Goles for the first time.
Oh wow!
I never got to get a picture with him, but I did see him there. Steve Whitmire was there as well.
Wow!
But afterwards, I just saw all these other people in the audience. They just started pulling out their puppets, taking pictures together, and I thought, wow, maybe there might be something here for me after all. And then I attended a few events and just got to know every single one of these people who are now dear, dear friends of mine.
Yeah.
Both online and in person. And it's what I would say is, with this community, you'll definitely find that core group of people that you want to be friends, who will be good friends with you.
Exactly.
And eventually, you guys, we'll all work on something fun together. Because that's all it is. We do these things that is just so much fun on top of performing. And, somewhere down the line, we could all do something creative together.
Yes.
We could film something together. We could put on a show together.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
That'd be amazing.
Right.
That really would be amazing if we could all just get together and work on some just the chemistry between a lot of us.
Yeah,
Oh,
exactly.
yeah.
And
Oh, yeah.
There's been a lot of. I've met people on Instagram, going on Instagram Live with many people who are dear friends of mine. Matt, of course, Alex, Mia from Mia's
amazing guy.
Mia's puppet.
We're gonna keep mentioning her. She's
Brandon, of course.
Yeah, Brandon too.
Previous guest.
Oh man,
one of our favorites.
Brandon, he is the brand, and I'm not sure if we can curse on here, but I'll just
go ahead.
Yeah, you can.
Yeah, you can. Go for it.
He is the funniest son of a bitch I have ever seen. He is.
Yeah, he is.
Pal Bubba. Oh man, he's
Want an example? Go back to episode 44. Yep. Shameless plug. Shameless plug.
Here's the episode of Brandon. Go watch that right now.
Go.
Yes.
No, but
watch that, and then come back.
Yes.
I'll wait.
We'll see you folks in an hour. Yeah.
Did you guys watch it? Okay. That's
great.
Yeah, Brandon's
watch the video version, everybody.
He's just
great.
The funniest.
Great.
Definitely. You are too.
He is amazing.
He's awesome.
And I actually discovered you through Mia's stream, and it's just amazing to see you keep going.
Now we'll quiz you on the episode. I'm just kidding. No, we won't.
No, don't.
No, it's a bad idea. You probably haven't survived, but you're here. Good for you. Good for you.
So Jake, why don't you ask the next?
Yeah. What do your characters mean to you?
Well, with my group of characters that I create and I perform, whether it's my own or playing a character for someone else. Playing a character for someone else is always fun, but whenever I create my own characters, like with my group, it really does mean a lot. It means a lot to me because it's something that I never thought I would create or be able to do. But it kind of goes back to basics where it's little bits of yourself that you put into each character, and then you just completely expand it beyond all comprehension. Like,
oh yeah,
like with I have a character named Grayson.
Yes.
Yeah, prime example with him. He's my release whenever I have a song in my heart.
Yeah.
Because even though that the other fun thing about doing this is that you get to act, you get to improvise, you get to sing.
Exactly.
And I love everything.
Yes. Yep.
Yeah. Who doesn't love it?
But oftentimes I'm very self-critical.
Oh yes.
I kind of feel like as myself I can't sing. Whereas if I go into character, my characters sing a lot better than I do.
Ain't that the truth? Yeah.
So like prime example, where like say if Grayson's singing a song by Stevie Ray Vaughan.
Yeah.
For those that don't know, Stevie Ray Vaughan, it was one of the most amazing blues guitarists that ever lived.
Wow.
So as myself, if I sing, well, sitting down in Texas, and standing out in the rain. For me, I'm a little self-critical. It doesn't sound so good. Whereas with Grayson, well, it's raining down in Texas, and I'm standing out in the rain. Oh, my baby, I can't get a single sound. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So like whenever I go into character, I kind of feel like that helps to push.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, agreed.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So we talked about your puppetry. How'd your podcast start? Because we talked about it at the start. How did it come out?
Yeah. How'd that start?
The old podcast that I did.
Yeah.
Which I'm kind of thinking of bringing back.
Yeah.
That was actually something I did for fun, right in the middle of the pandemic.
Yeah,
That's right.
it's like
It's just like the show.
Yeah, it's just like us doing this.
Just like us.
There.
Yeah, exactly. So, right in the middle of the pandemic, where I was getting to know everybody on Instagram and TikTok, some who are still good friends of mine, others who I had to unfortunately cut ties with.
Yeah.
Due to creative differences or personal differences.
Yeah.
Not always easy, but it had to be done. I started doing that podcast.
Yeah.
Just to hear how they got started.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Just to hear how they got started and what it means to them. Because we've all pretty much either read or heard about, how the Muppets, got me through rough times.
Yeah.
They were there when I needed a good laugh, or, I see myself with these characters. I wanted to hear and share those stories.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I had Brandon on. So I had Brandon on the show. I had Mia on the show.
Mia's amazing.
Nice.
I
was on.
Friend, Brett Henson.
Yes, Brett Henson from Larrikin Puppets.
Featured guest,
Yep.
hopefully.
I was on as well.
Yeah, Brett was amazing on the show, especially sharing his story. Matt and Alex were on the show as
Olivia
well.
also. Olivia's amazing.
A friend of mine named TJ.
Oh yeah, I know who he is.
Yes.
Yeah, who has his own little group called the Toppets on YouTube.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
Which I'm involved in. I get to play a few characters.
That's right. That's right.
For him as well.
That's right.
So that little podcast, I didn't plan on doing anything big with it.
Yeah.
I just did it for fun. I just did it for fun.
Yeah.
Then I stopped, and now I'm sort of deciding whether I can bring it back.
There you go.
There you go.
Matt, just be happy. You don't have to answer the next question.
Yes.
Matt answered it 5 times.
Yeah, I had to answer. You poor soul. Yeah, for those who are avid watchers of this podcast,
Blame
blame Jakey. I have to answer this question 5 episodes in a row. You poor guy. Yeah. Anyway, you still want to ask it though? I guess. Is there any? It makes sense. Is there any advice you would like to give someone who wants to get into puppeteering?
There's definitely a lot that I can give. If you definitely want to be a puppeteer,
Go for it.
Do it.
Definitely that. Just do it. Find out what kind of puppetry you like to do. Because there's so many different kinds, but there's always going to be that one style that suits you, that that really draws that connection. Like when I first decided, I want to do this, people asked me, "Oh, are you going to be the ones that controls with the strings?" And I said, "Well, I mean, other people do that, but that's not really me."
Yeah.
Even though I tried, it's always hard to get the strings untangled.
Right.
So,
Yeah.
This hand style, Henson style puppets that I do, that's what I'm more comfortable with. So
Yes.
definitely finding a style that works for you.
Yeah.
The other things I would say is the other thing I would say is when you're creating characters, it's not only a voice that you're doing. It's 10% voice, 90% bringing everything to life.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Cannot stress that enough.
And now I stress a lot about that, because back in the day, I just thought, well, what if this voice doesn't match up with this kind of character? I didn't even think about X, Y, and Z.
Yeah.
The one that actually told me about X, Y, and Z was Martin P. Robinson. Because when I attended a workshop, and I got to use a monitor for the first time.
Right.
Wow.
Which I was terrible. I was absolutely terrible. And I was telling myself, come on, get it right. Martin P. Robinson, stand right next to you, man. And I completely blow it. And I was so embarrassed. At the very end, he sees me talking to a bunch of my friends. He comes over to us. And we got to talking. And Martin says, you are good. You know how to do this. You know how to operate the arm rods.
Yeah.
Of course, you know how to perform with live hands because you assisted me with Telly in a demonstration. You just
wow.
That is awesome.
Wow.
Yeah, which still mind blowing. He did tell me that you gotta learn how to work with a monitor. You gotta learn how to improvise. You gotta improvise characters on the spot.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And you gotta learn how to give good eye focus when you're working on camera and you're working with a monitor.
For sure.
Yeah.
Yes.
And so I held on to that for so many years. And yeah, those are the things that one must learn. If you're going into television puppetry like I do, definitely learn how to get good eye focus, improvise. Acting classes always helps.
Yeah.
And finding puppet workshops, whether it's making puppets or monitor work. Those are just the basic. Those are just the basic things. And then once you have it, and you continue to practice doing that every single day, it's going to improve more and more. So,
yes,
it'll change. It'll change dramatically with time.
Mm-hmm. And similarly, is there any advice you'd like to give to someone who wants to start building puppets?
Matt, listen up. What?
Matt, listen to the monster.
If you're gonna start learning how to build, I wouldn't recommend going. I definitely would not recommend trying to build these kind of characters yet.
Yeah.
Because those kind of puppets take so much time.
I bet.
So much time, so many hours in the day because you're going to be sitting down, just gluing pieces together and then covering it with fleece or fur.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to start building, definitely start simple. Definitely start with something simple like this.
Yeah.
So that way, you learn how to sew. You learn how to sew this kind of puppet.
Mm-hmm.
And then just practice basic lip sync like that. And then, as you continue to learn and you improve a lot more, definitely try to build some big characters.
Mm-hmm.
And if it doesn't work the first time, that's fine.
Try again.
Fine, because it's a learning experience.
It is.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
Before we go to the last few questions, I'm kind of worried, but I think you might like lots of impressions that you do, but do you have a favorite impression?
Yeah.
Oh, that's a good question.
Favorite one. Well, favorite one for me must definitely be Optimus Prime.
Nice.
Yes, that is spot on.
Which Marty, Marty and Matt, you guys know I always give that speech at the very end.
Yep, very end. Yep.
I hope you guys don't mind. I definitely want to throw out that speech at the very end of this one.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. Yes.
Yeah, you called
yes, of course.
Here's the thing. We haven't had a puppeteer end us off yet. We had a musician, but not a puppeteer.
Yes, we have. Yes, we have. Do you not remember Martin P. Robinson's episode?
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yes,
yeah, he ended up.
You forgot already,
with
didn't
Snuffy.
you?
Yeah, that's right.
He ended us off with Snuffy.
There's so many
which was
episodes.
amazing.
Yes, there's a lot. But what would you like to say to your fans?
Well, for me, definitely would like to say thanks to everybody who's been following me and who's been watching a lot of my stuff throughout these many years. I didn't even think. I mean, back then, I didn't even think people would actually be watching it. I just thought, well, I just put it. That's it. I just move on with. I just move on. I don't think anybody would actually end up watching it.
Yeah.
Or I'd actually get a big following. It's a slow following, but it's something where I am starting to make a name for myself.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Definitely huge thanks to everybody that's been watching, showing support, sharing all the stuff, and just a chance for me to get out of my comfort zone.
Good point.
Indeed.
Where can people find you if they want to contact you?
Let's pull up the old social media pages right here. on my things here. So y'all may want to listen up. If y'all want to follow this guy here who's been doing all these voices and all these puppets, definitely check out Marcelo Bottaro _927 on Instagram.
Yep.
Figments Inc., which is that little puppet ditty that he does. On Twitter. You can definitely follow Marcelo _927 on Twitter. And also on the Ticketed Ox, which I always thought was cock. Definitely follow Marcelo Bottaro 27 on the Ticketed Ox, or just type in the Figments on there, and you'll see this guy. This handsome fella with this little blue whatchamacallit.
That's awesome. Your links will be in the description.
On there.
Your links will all be in the description.
Yes.
Hey, Mr. Host, end it off.
Yeah, with the last question.
Wait. Let me redo that. The guy messes up the most more than anyone to end it off.
So, of course, this podcast is called Jake's Happy Nostalgia Show. When you think of the nostalgia, what do you think of that defines nostalgia to you?
Man, I mean, every day I always relapse. I always relapse every single day. I love rewatching things that I grew up with.
Oh, same here.
Yeah.
Same here.
And if it holds up, it still holds up. If it doesn't, I'm still happy that it was a part of my childhood.
Yeah, same.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Indeed.
Yeah, and when it comes to nostalgia, especially when meeting some of these people that basically were a part of your childhood.
Yeah.
And you get to meet them, and eventually you get to become good friends with them. It's an amazing experience just to say to yourself, wow, I'm actually friends with the person that was involved in this show or did that movie that I loved so much growing up. And at some point, you got to let go of that nostalgia, but at the same time, it's you say to yourself you're going to let the nostalgia go, but at the same time, it's still there. It's still there no matter what.
Yep.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah, that's awesome. Well, yes, thank you. Thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you so much.
It's been an
Yeah,
absolute
so much,
blast.
Marcelo.
With the Allspark gone, we cannot return life to our planet. But faith has yielded its reward. A new world to call home. We live among its people now, hiding in plain sight, but watching over them in secret, waiting, protecting. I have witnessed their capacity for courage, and though we are worlds apart, like us, there is more to them than meets the eye. I am Optimus Prime, and I say this message to any surviving Autobots taking refuge among the stars. We are here. We are waiting.
That is amazing.
That is amazing.
Goodbye, everybody. You're worth it.
Yes,
Thank
bye,
you for
everybody.
watching.
Bye, everyone. Stay nostalgic.
For now.
Nostalgic, and you're worth it. See you next
You're worth
episode.
it.
See ya.
Stay nostalgic.
everyone.
You are worth it. So long, everybody.
Bye. See you next time on another episode of Jake's Happy Nostalgia Show, where nostalgia comes alive. Be sure to follow us on social media and stream us wherever you find your favorite podcasts. And as always, remember that you are worth it and to always stay nostalgic. Bye-bye.